Hi everyone, I'm Jody Barrows with The Square in a Square, and the long-awaited day has finally arrived for our new Paradise Fabric reveal. We have been working so hard for so many days, hours, weeks, and even months to get to this point. So first of all, you have to have the idea, design the fabric, work through the process of getting it to you, make your samples, get everything in the computer, get quilts and classes and patterns and things written up. So it has been a long journey. I feel like a farmer that planted a crop months ago, and just now it's now time for harvest to show everyone the fruit of our work and what we've been doing. So let us know that you can see and hear okay. We're getting a thumbs up that all of that is good. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you're on our email list, you would have gotten an email yesterday and it had several downloads in there. Those downloads were right in the email where you could go in and click. Now, if you're just catching us and you don't know what's going on Facebook or YouTube, you can still go back and get those downloads. I'm not sure how to tell them to do that, but
Well, if they're signed up for the webinars, I listed it with the webinar section, which is our free webinar section that anyone can go to.
so
But
if
if
you're
not, they can email.
yeah, you can always email us at jody@squareandasquare.com or steve@squareandasquare.com. You can always email us. But if you are getting the free webinars that we have been doing over the past years, then there is a section in there for downloads, and you probably know about that. So those are some places that you can do. Now, one sheet is a sheet that has the fabrics on it, so as we go through and list them, you can go in and mark what you like, and you can write, and you can take notes. If you do not have that sheet downloaded, then you can still just go ahead and take notes as we go along. And remember, we have that email for any time you have any questions. One of the pages had the fabrics on there, so that's always nice to be able to look at and have a hard copy of as you're going through the computers. And then there's another page that has the thread that goes along with our new fabric. And then we've got some cute little boxes I'm going to show you. And then some of the quilts are kitted and ready to go, and so you could possibly have a page that tells you about that quilt, about the fabric. So if you're wanting to kind of pick and choose on the fabric, all of those things are there to help you be organized and to know what you're doing. So we are officially starting today our 6-week build-up of launching the new fabric, of showing you the quilts and the kits, and working up to Quilt Club week, which is the last week of September. In one of those downloads was a sheet with a schedule on it, and that is a schedule that we sent out previously a week or 2 weeks or so ago. And if you have that, then it's the same. I don't think there's any changes on it. And I do not have a copy of that here with me, but I think I can remember what I need to tell you about that. So we're going to let's just kind of talk about that schedule. Okay, so today, Saturday, we have our reveal for our fabric and to show you the quilts and to show you what, not all of what we're teaching, but some of what we're teaching. We like things to be a surprise in Quilt Club week, but for those of you that are brand new, it's nice to be able to see a little bit of a sneak peek to know what we'll be doing. And we'll talk more about Quilt Club week here shortly and about Premium Club. But so today starts our fabric reveal, and when our fabric first comes in, that is when we offer our promotion and our special price. So it's always best to get our fabric and have the best price and the best whatever that we're doing here at the very beginning of each one of our fabric collections. That's totally different than what anybody else does, but that's what we do, and it works for us, and you guys like getting the new stuff at a discount, and so that's what we do. Then on Monday of this week, so on Mondays is going to be our teaching days. So Monday of this week, which is in August, and Monday of next week, which is in August, we're going to, at 11 o'clock, do a live teaching that's available for anybody. And then we're going to start doing our option overviews which will be 3 days of classes, so 3 weeks of classes, and those will be for anybody. And then we have a little bit of pre-stuff for Quilt Club week. That's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of that last week of September. And then we start in on Wednesday with just our Quilt Club week and just for the people that have signed up for that. So Quilt Club week is a week that we actually started in 2022. So we have Quilt Club week of 2020, 2021, 22, and then now 23. So this will be our 4th year. We started it during the pandemic when there were no quilt shows to go to. So there was no inspiration, no lectures, no teaching, none of that, where you could go. And people have loved it so much of having the online Quilt Club week that we have continued on with it. And now it's a core part of our year and our structure. And obviously we spend a lot of time and hours and effort and thought and promotions and everything going into Quilt Club week. Now, right now you can go to the website, squareandasquare.com. You can sign up for Quilt Club week, and it is a discounted price. It's an early bird price for $57. It's normally $77. I'm not sure exactly when it will switch to the $77, but that's just for a limited time. So don't delay and sign up for Quilt Club week now. If you are part of Premium Club, then Quilt Club week is included in that. You don't need to do anything to sign up for it, and you don't have to pay for it. It's already included in your premium membership. And we'll talk more about premium later. So we have a lot of teachings to build up in these next 5 to 6 weeks, working to the last of September. So go in and get a part, be a part by joining our email on our website. And then, of course, here on Facebook, here, like and follow and share and all of that. Or if you're on YouTube, do the same thing. And then you'll get notifications when we are doing stuff and you won't miss any of our lives. So mark your calendars for Mondays at 11 o'clock, except for the Labor Day Monday. We're going to be doing that on a Tuesday, okay? All right, so let's get into the fabric. Do we have any questions before I jump in?
No.
Everyone
Just says,
excited?
Well, here, I'll put it on the screen. Can you see it?
Yes. Hello from Woodstock. Wow, those colors are different than usual. Yes. So one lady, when we did our quilt talk with Sherry, we had a picture of us, and behind us was the black tulip, and she eyed that and spotted it and said, "Oh my gosh, Jody, if that is your new fabric and your new colors, not only did you step out of the box, you jumped clear over it." So those of you that know me know that I'm usually the reds and the blacks and the muted tones and more of the what we would call the vintage of the 1800s. And even though these colors are different colors than what I normally work with, they are still part of that colors and dye from the 1800s. So they're really rich, deep colors. They are not clear colors. They are not brights. They're not brights. They're not neons. They're not pastels. They're different than any of that out there. They're still part of that deep, rich dye from the 1800s. But we've got purples and pinks and sunshine yellow and orange slice color, just some really, really pretty colors. And you're going to get to see multiple quilts. I don't know exactly how many, but I know more than 12 quilts that we have made. So a couple from the vintage. I want you to be able to see the pattern in the vintage fabric, and I want you to go ahead and see the pattern in the new Paradise, because really any pattern can lend to any fabric palette or anything that you like and that you want to do. Okay, so let's get down here and let's get started looking at our colors and our quilts. And be sure, and if you have any questions, just go ahead and put those in on the chat, and Steve will get them to me when he knows I'm getting ready to take a breath. He'll say, "Hold on, I got a question here for you," okay? All right, so let's look down here at our colors and let's just kind of go through what we have. We have 8 of the ones that we call the diamond dot, and they are our basics. They're our backgrounds, and any of these colors will go with any of the other 6 colors that we have, or 6 designs or prints that we have. So we have the gray, which I just love, 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 our black, the orange slice, the pink, the lilac or purple, a green, the aqua, and then the yellow. Those are our basics and our background colors, 8 of those. Then we have our bird, and this one we do call the Paradise, although the whole collection is Paradise. These are the diamond dots, and this is the Paradise bird. So it's kind of a Dr. Seuss looking bird that you can see on here with the big pretty tail going one direction, and then the head kind of turned with all of the feathers coming off of the top. Some whimsical kind of Dr. Seuss flowers and leaves that are kind of a diamond shape. Just really abstract and whimsical, and just kind of a explosion of color and different textures in the design. The pink, and I love the little dots that are the background on it. It's the same as our similar to our diamond dot. So we have that in the purple, the orange slice, and the pink. And then we have the cobblestones. This one, I love the cobblestones, such a unique texture. And the more I'm working with them in the different quilts, the more I'm falling in love with them. And they're kind of a main design on their own. And then we have what we call the flower dot. And the flower dot comes in the purple and the pink and the yellow. So the thing about these colors and these fabrics is that it's contrast. It's about contrast. So you can put any of the fabrics together, and as long as you have the contrast, then it's going to work in your design. And we'll look at that as we go through some of the quilts. Now, I also want to show you some of our fabrics that we have had in the past. If you are familiar with us, you know that these are kind of our basics, and any of these will work with our prints. So if you're used to having a light, a lot of people think about a background or a light, and then a contrast with the fabric to help build the design. So this is our tan, tattered and torn, the dirt, tattered and torn, the check, the beige check. This one is our flower vine, which is similar to the dirt, a little bit smaller in the texture, and a little bit lighter, a little bit more muted. And then this one is the sticks. So you can see how that these go nice with any of the different ones. All of these would look good with any of them. So if you want a light to go in your quilt, I suggest from any of these 5. Now also, you'll see in the diamond dots how any of these can be your background. You can have your background be the green or the aqua or the black or the gray. Any of them can be the background pieces. Now, as you're looking at these here on the screen, 3 of the flowers, 3 of the cobblestone, 3 of the bird, and 8 of these, I want to give you a little bit of what the sale is about. So the sale is that if you get 3 yards or more of the same one, so that means like 3 yards of this one, 3 yards of this, whatever, 3 yards or more, then you get it for the $10 a yard price. So normally the fabric is $13.99, so that's like $4 a yard that you're saving. So that's a very big savings, and we're keeping our sale price consistent at that $10 because we really want you to be able to get it and enjoy it and work with it and play with it and have fun with it. So we really enjoy being able to give you that discounted price. Now we have, of course, you can get 3 yards, 4 yards, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. And then we also have, and you can get anything above, we can cut whatever you want, but we also have cuts that are the 15 yards and the 20 yards ready to go. And you may think, 15 yards, 20 yards, 10 yards, what do we do with that? Well, I will tell you that we have lots of our customers that go in and buy 10 yards of all of it when we have our new, because they know it's going to be gone. They know that they'll have what they need to work with in their quilts, and then they don't have to worry about running out. So let's talk about a 3-yard piece. What can you do with a 3-yard piece? Lots of times people like go to a fabric sale and they're like, I don't know how much to buy. I don't know what I'm making, you know, so on and so on. So with a 3-yard piece, the reason why we start with a 3-yard piece, and when I go somewhere and I'm doing shopping at a quilt store or wherever I'm at, I usually start with that 3-yard piece. A 3-yard piece will help me do a border, the length of fabric. It takes at least 2 yards to do a sashing. So if you're going to do a sashing out of that, you can get plenty of sashing out of a 3-yard. You can get your border. If you're doing your border, then you can also have some left over to go inside your quilt for your design and help coordinate your quilt. So to me, a 3-yard piece is pretty basic of what you need when you're shopping for sale fabric. And then of course, as you go up, a 4-yard, you could do a border, you could do sashing, and you could have some left over for your block. So a 4-yard is great to work with. A 5-yard, and we're talking in general like between a queen and a double. So to make a size of a quilt that's between a double and a queen, you need at least 12 yards of fabric. If you don't have a mix of 12 yards of fabric, then you're probably not going to have enough fabric. You think that's a lot of fabric, but I mean, even when I had a quilt shop back in the early 90s, it was 12 yards is what you needed for a quilt. Now, and that's for, you know, if you have like 5 or 6 different fabrics in your quilt. But if you're just doing like 2 colors in a quilt, then of course you're going to be needing consistent, you know, for that 12 yards for that. So you maybe need a 4-yard piece and a 6-yard piece. Now, because you may be only using 2 or 3 pieces, you actually use a little bit less because you don't have as many cleanup cuts and as many starts and stops, which uses a little more fabric. I don't know if you understand that, but that's just the way it is. And it doesn't matter how you're putting a quilt together. If you just have a few fabrics, you tend to use not as much as you do if you're switching to a lot of different fabrics, okay? All right, so any questions about quantities or anything like that? You need at least 2 yards for a border, and I suggest starting with at least 3. Now, any of these that are going to be basics or be in the quilt a lot, like the diamond dots, you need 5 or 6 yards of them to be your background and to be considered, you know, to use overall in that quilt or in that design. Okay, so let's look at putting some of these combos together. Do we have any questions while I'm moving our...
No.
Okay.
Just comments on
Okay.
good quality type stuff.
Yes, the fabric is the top quality fabric. As I've been working with it, the hand and the weight and the feel and the texture and all of that is always just so much to enjoy. And I know there's many of you on here watching today that have used our fabrics before, and word of mouth from another quilter is always a big deal. So if you want to text on there that you've used our stuff and you love it and all that, then we appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, let's look at this next collection that I have put together down here on the table. So the 2 main colors that I have chosen to just show you how all of these blend and go together. Can we, I don't mind that up there, but it needs to be in a different spot. My cameraman. Okay, try that. I'll scoot it over a little bit. There we go. Okay, now you can see all the fabrics and see me talk. Okay, so all of these would be great in a quilt. Remember, it's about contrast. And our 2 main pieces in here are the green, so it's whatever the background is, the green cobblestone, and then the purple flower dot. So these 2 go together and blend really well, and they would be your main prints in the block or your quilt, whatever it is that you're making. Maybe you're making your blocks out of this and you use this for sashing, or vice versa, or just both of them in the block. Then on the diamond dots, the ones that we have that go with it, we have the aqua, the purple, and the pink. All of those blend well together and with both of the focus prints. And then we have the green, the gray, and the orange slice. And I think you can tell by looking at those on the screen as I look at them in the monitor, that's just a beautiful collection of fabric, and all of those would blend and work well in the quilt, and see how every one of those have contrast with each other. The only 2 that might have a little bit that is, these 2 could, if the pieces are real small, they could kind of blend, believe it or not. But if your pieces are 2 inches or larger, then you're going to have a good contrast with those two. And this right here is kind of my focus area, and this is where I kind of tend to go to when I'm thinking about building a quilt. So I guess if you're asking me about one of my favorite combinations, it's this one, at least until I start on another quilt that has some of the other fabrics in it, and then that one is my favorite collection. Okay, let's look at this one. Now this one here is really, really pretty. We've just got one of the focus fabrics in here, the cobblestone. And I will tell you that my 11-year-old granddaughter was here this summer, and she is a pink girl. She has been a pink girl for 11 years. Pink is her favorite color, her room, everything is pink. And when she was looking at the fabrics and sewing with me and here in the studio and the warehouse and everything where all the fabric is at, this one right here was her favorite. I was so surprised that she didn't go with some of the pinks, but this yellow cobblestone was her favorite. So I want you to see how, of course, the yellow diamond dot, the aqua diamond dot, those look great. And just the 3 of those would be a really, really pretty bold quilt. And then you can add some of the gray to it. The gray down in the cobblestone is just wonderful. And then you can even add some of the pink to it. So any of those combinations would look great, be great. And if you want to add in the yellow flower, you could certainly do that and do all of those together. Very bright and cheery quilt. And you don't have to add any of the backgrounds to any of them. But this one is the dirt stick, and it looks nice with it. And look, if you just wanted to do a 2-color quilt, how these two would look really pretty together. I think those two are just really pretty. So the undertone of the dye is all from the 1800s, and that's why my older collections or my past collections work with this collection. It's because of the under dye of it. Now this one here is really pretty also. We've got the orange cobblestone as our focus print. We've got the purple and the green and the aqua, and I just think any of that would make a really pretty quilt. And then in this collection, we have the pink bird, the pink flower, the purple and the pink diamond dot, and the yellow. Now, anytime you're putting the yellow in with some of these, because the yellow is in all of the birds and the flower dot, and it's in just one of the cobblestones. But the yellow will go with any of them, but I do suggest that it's not like a big 4 or 5 inch piece, that it's a smaller piece in the quilt, and it acts just as a little accent, just like in the different fabrics. The yellow is just a little accent because it does jump out and it can become pretty bold. So just depending on what you're wanting. So these are a great combo to put together. And then this one here with the yellow flower, this one I just think is really pretty and just kind of rainbow. I've wanted to, with the fabric, ever since we got it going, I just wanted to do like a color wash, to where you start with like one color and just kind of wash across the quilt with changing the colors. And if you saw the quilt talk that Sherry and I did about 3 weeks ago, she had a quilt that it looked like it was on diagonal and it had all the diamond shapes in it. That one right there is really pretty to do an ombre, like I'm talking about, where the colors just kind of change and fade across the quilt. And I will be using all of the diamond dots for that. I also will be using all of the fabrics in 2 different designs that I have that are kind of modern looking. They're just squares and strips. There's no triangles in them. One of them is one that we already have, which is called Country Barn. You may be familiar with that, and you can go in and look up the Country Barn pattern. I don't have the quilt with me to show today, but I will show it in some future ones. But then also a scrappy one just to go in and use up all of your scraps. Now also think about using the black as your background and then using all of these colors as your shapes that are in the quilt. And as you go through Pinterest and look at black quilts, or go through just any of the different areas that you can go through and look at quilts now with technology, think about the black diamond dot as a background. I really, really expect, and I would bet a lot of money on it, that my black diamond dot is going to be gone within 2 weeks, because I see people buying 20 yards of it at a whack, because it's just so great and it goes with everything. Okay? And actually, so many of these diamond dots will be like that, because all of them can be your background. So you can make the orange quilt with your background, or the purple quilt, or your pink, or the green. I mean, as we go through and look at these, I mean, just like this one here, you can see how we've used the pink as the background. And you could switch up the colors and use any of them for the background of the quilt. You can use the green, or the yellow, or the pink, or the purple, any of those 8, the gray, the black, all of those. If I was building my stash, I would do 10 yards of all of them, and I would do probably the 20 yards of the black and the gray, because those are just ones that's going to go with everything. Okay? All right, so let's look at this next one. This next one has 3, 6, 7, has I think about 10 different fabrics in it, and I want you to see how all of these will go together. So look at this luscious gray with the orange, and then on into the purple and the yellow. Just luscious, luscious. I'm obsessed with all of them. And then here, look at the green, the purple, the orange cobblestone, and the aqua. So all of these could go together in a quilt. All of these would look great. They don't fight with each other, and the contrast is good. Remember, it's about contrast. When you're putting two different fabrics together, you want a contrast. And if you have a contrast, then the value is going to work, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay, we have a question.
Just about previously released fabrics.
Okay.
What about pricing on those? Is
Okay.
it just for the new stuff?
Yes, this is just for our new stuff. Our other stuff has been on sale, if not once, at least 2, maybe other. Some of them maybe more than that. So hopefully if you're brand new, then obviously you weren't able to get in on those. But if you've been with us, then you know that we have had those, and you've had opportunities to get those, and hopefully you bought the 3 to 10 yards so that you can keep blending them into the others. Okay, now there's one other thing that we have never done before. And we have, and there's just one little button that you can go to the website and push for this. You don't have to go in and do every fabric. And so it's a 2-yard bundle. So there's 17 different fabrics. So if you go in and hit the 2-yard bundles, then you're going to get a 2 yard of all of it. It's not $10 a yard, but it is at a discount. And we've never offered that before.
17 or something.
It's like $11 a yard instead of the 14. So it's still a significant savings. And those would be all 2-yard pieces. And then also we're doing it for the 1 yards. You can go in and hit the little button for the 1 yards and get all 17 of those. And you get, I think you save like $30 or something if you're doing those. We've never offered the 2-yard specials, and we've never offered the 1-yard specials before. So those of you in Premium Club for our fall class, one reason why we're doing that is because I don't have the fabric amounts for you for the fall class, and I'm not going to be doing a kit. And when I do the kits, you don't get it at a discount, and I want you to be able to get your fabric at a discount. So if you're in Premium Club and you want to make your fall quilt with our new fabrics, then you can go in and order the 1-yard bundles, or you can go in and order the 2-yard bundles and then pick from those. Then the other thing that you need to do for our fall semester quilt is you need to choose one of the diamond dots for your main background, and I would say go in and order 5 yards of it. And really any of them would work, so I say just pick your favorite diamond dot and get 5 yards of it, and then go in and order the 1 yard or the 2-yard specials that we have. That way you can get a little kit and be able to get in on the discount of that. If I do a kit to where it's got a 1/2 yard of this and 1 1/2 yard of that and everything, you don't get that at a discount. We never do that at a discount. So I'm trying to think of ways to help you guys, things that we can do and still give you guys a good deal, okay? So now we're going to look at some of these new Paradise fabrics with some of the older vintage or other fabric lines that I've had in the past. So one of these that both of these I'm over the moon crazy about. So let's look at the black and the gray and the red. Okay, so here you can see them all. Now I know these checks with the pixels on your screen don't always get along well, but let's look at what we have in here. So this is our bow tie from the vintage, and it's the gray and kind of a red in there. And then we have our two new diamond dots. See, this is what I'm talking about on these diamond dots. Don't let these get away from you for the $10 a yard, because you need a lot of these and they're going to go in everything, okay? So just if you did a quilt with just those three right there, I mean, that's just so, so pretty. Then we have our black bow tie, which is this same design, just different colors. And look at those. Oh my gosh, I just can't wait to start cutting on those. Then we have the red and the red and dirt check, which is the darker one, and our black check. So even if you just went with those, exquisite, love it, love it. Then this is our red and tan, so it's the lighter one. So if you wanted to go more with it, just depending on what you like. This is our red vine from our vintage. So these are our everyday checks. The bow ties and the red vine, those are from the vintage. The black stick, hope you ordered a big piece of that one. And then this is our red vine. And you need on the monitor when I'm looking at it, it looks kind of a tomatoey red, but it does go with all of these really well. You do need a little bit of variant of colors. You don't want your blacks to be matchy-matchy or your reds to be matchy-matchy, because then you might as well just use the same fabric. It's like using good spices in your food. You're going to get more flavor if you have just a variant of the different shades. So all of these right here are just wonderful, wonderful, and they're going to go together, and I just don't think you can mess up putting those together any way, any form or fashion. So any questions, Steve, from anyone?
To get the deal, all the 3 yards have to be the same fabric?
Yes.
And design?
Yes. So you have to have like 3 yards of this, 3 yards of this, and that's to get your sale price 3 and up. Now you can go in and click the 2-yard bundle. So that means you're going to get a 2 yard of all 17. And you can go in and click the 1 yard bundle, and that means you're going to get a 1 yard of all of the 17. Okay? Okay, now this next one. Oh.
Will these be able to be used for our fall classes? And if so, how much would you recommend?
Yes, we will be using the Paradise for the fall class. You can use the Paradise, you can use from your stash, you can do your fabrics however you want. I don't have time to figure or cut the kit for fall. So that's why we have the 1 yard bundles, and that's why we have the 2 yard bundles on sale this time, is so that you can get a smaller quantity and use it for your fall class. So I suggest for fall you go in and either choose the 1 yard bundle or the 2 yard bundle, and you'll get either a 1 yard or a 2 yard of all 17 pieces. So then as you're doing your quilt, you have the freedom to go in and design it and put the colors where you want. And then for the fall class, I want you to go in and pick a diamond dot that you like for your background, whether it's pink or black or gray or yellow, whatever. And I would say at least a 3, but I'm going to recommend a 5 yard piece for that, because I don't want you to run out. I want you to be able to get it on sale. All of these you'll be able to use in multiple places. And if you're thinking about the black, for sure, the black, the aqua, I mean, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. And then I don't want your quilt to be halfway there and then they're gone. Like I said, the black and the gray diamond dot, I expect to be gone within a matter of days. Our sale is going to last 6 weeks. It's going to last to the end of September. And it's our Paradise fabric. And then we do have our new little book, As the Crow Fly, and you can save $3 on it. And it will go to the end of September. And I'll show you that as we get going. But the fabric's going to be gone and your sale price is going to be gone. So I just take advantage. When I come in later and ship an order and someone's got a 3-yard piece and they paid regular price for it, I'm like, oh, they could have got that on sale. It really does hurt me to have to do that. Okay, so that's why when it comes in brand new, we always give you the best value and try to help you as much as we can.
For your fall classes, would the reds and blacks?
Yes, yes. If you love that red, black, and gray, and you have some of the vintage fabric and you want to get some of the black and, well, let's just show those again.
And for, as a tie-on to that, if for fall, would you normally recommend a 1 or a 2-yard bundle?
If you need to be conservative and get the 1 yard, then you're going to have enough fabric. You may not have enough of the pink dot because you may decide to put it more in the quilt, you know. So I guess I would recommend the 2-yard piece, just so that you'll have enough for your fall quilt. And then as you see these other quilts we have, you can use some of that to make some of these other quilts, whether you know, with the 2-yard bundle. Or if you got it, sometimes people just want to do a 3-yard of all of it. That's probably a majority order. The majority order is going to be 3 yards of all of it and then bigger portions of some of these diamond dots that they want. That's going to be the average order. And so you can see how when people are buying those quantities, that it doesn't take long for our yardages to be gone. And as we go through and look at some of the other quilts, you'll see how you can use some of those extras from your 2 yards or extras from your 3 yards for some of these other quilts. And the thing about the fabric is it all mixes around together so great. You know, even though maybe I had a pink piece right here, you can substitute that pink piece for one of the other pink pieces or a totally different color. And you're going to get, you know, that good contrast and your quilt's going to turn out pretty. So on one hand, it's a little bit of a new concept to think about working with all of this because it is just about contrast. But on the other hand, it's going to be really easy to work with them and put them together because if you have the contrast, it's going to work. And when we start looking at some of these other quilts, I think that you'll understand that a little bit more if that's a little fuzzy to you. Okay, so let's...
on the fall classes, you can use your own stash, of course.
Yes, yes, you can use your own stash. You can just take what you've got and do it, or you can choose from all of ours. I never make... I want the quilt to be yours. I want you to be able to use what you have or be excited about something new. That's fine with me. I enjoy looking at all. I mean, that's one thing that I love about our community page is that people post all the different quilts that they've made from class, and they've used their stash or worked with their favorite colors, and you get to see all these different colors coming together, and that helps you learn by looking at the same quilt by seeing it in other colors. And as we get deeper in this stack of quilts that I'm going to show, you're going to see the exact same pattern with the new Paradise and with the vintage. And just like, oh, it doesn't matter which pattern I choose, it will work. So let's look down here at these blacks and reds and grays again, because you could have these checks in your collection. You could have some from the vintage, the black stick, the red fuzzy, the red floral, the bow ties. This one is a must-have. If you're going to be working with any of these, you must have this bow tie. To me, these two bow ties and these two diamond dots, those are a basic. You could maybe go in and blend other reds and blacks in your quilt from other lines, other designers. But to me, you've got to have those, and I don't know that check. I think that, look at that check in there. Oh, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. They're just all so pretty together. And this would be a beautiful quilt for the quilt that we're making this fall in our fall semester. So if you want to go that direction, you certainly can. Now the next one I'm going to show you is one that we've used the orange. And I don't know if it's just fall or if I'm just turning into an orange girl. I don't know. But these next one, and the new little book with the quilt As the Crow Flies, is just so stinking cute. And it being fall, I think it's just got me all excited. Got me all excited. Okay, so here is another way that you can mix some of the different fabrics together. Now, we showed the bow tie in the black and the gray a little while ago, and here it is in the orange. So this is from our vintage collection. This is the orange bow tie. This one is the gold stick. You can see it's a brown background with a little gold stick on it. This one is our orange floral vine. Love, 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 love this one. I've got several quilts in mind for this one. This one is our green stick, our green fuzzy. This is the orange paradise bird, and I want you to look at how all of these greens and these other oranges and browns and these blacks are just exquisite, exquisite. Now, don't forget, you can take a screenshot of any of these that we've been doing, and if you go back in and watch the replay, then you can go in and screenshot. I've put these different collections together so that you can go back in and look at these colors that I've put together, and it will help make you feel a little bit more secure when you're looking at putting stuff together. You can say, okay, Jody said those would work. Here's my screenshot, here's my picture. That way you can go back and look. But are you guys digging this? Are you loving this orange and black and with the bird? So great. I can't wait to get in. Now, when we get to the little crow quilt, I'm going to talk to you about some of these colors and a couple of other versions that you can make with the crow, because it's going to be really cool.
How do you order just 3 yards of each of the diamond dot? I don't really have the diamond dots as a 3-yard bundle. You'd have to order them each.
Yeah, the only bundles that we have are the 1 yards and the 2 yards, where you go in and just push one button and all of it's included. So if you're ordering 3 yards of the diamond dots, you have to go in and click on the pink one, on the black one, on the aqua one. You have to go in and click on all of those.
I can't do it right now.
Yeah, he can't add that as a bundle right now, but he can go back in and add that later if you'd like. Now, all of our stuff is in stock. If you could see the sea of fabric that I'm looking at, where we have stuff cut, we have the 3 yards cut, the 4 yards cut, all of those are ready to go. Now these, if you guys, I'm expecting a tsunami of the 1 yard and the 2 yard cuts. Those we have to cut by hand. The 3 yards and up we cut on the machine, and we can do about 500 yards in about 2 hours, so we can move through those bigger cuts pretty quickly. But the 2 yard and the 1 yard cuts, I don't have a clue. I mean, you guys could just really overwhelm us with that. Like I said, a tsunami on those, and we have to hand cut those. And and that's fine. You know, we want you to have it, and we want to give you the best, offer the best pricing on everything that we can. But I don't have those all stacked up ready to ship out, so those will take just a hair bit longer to get those ready to go. Okay, now. Got a couple of quick little testimonies here for those of you that are brand new to Square and Square, or brand new to what we do and how we roll. I get every day. I get text, I get emails, this one says, she said, "Thank you for giving me permission to color outside the lines," because I'm always challenging people to try something new. And she talks about how much her sewing has improved since she's been doing the Square and a Square and all the different tips and hints that we teach. She said, "Thank you for a wonderful system," which is the Square and a Square, which I'm really not showing today, but we'll be teaching those on Mondays from now on. And it says, "My piecing ability has improved tremendously by following you and using the Square and a Square system." This one says, "Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I love the neat tricks that you're always showing us, and she goes in to talk about her frustration with flying geese and triangle units and stars. And she said, "You are just so surprising. I love that you're always thinking of ways to make things easier for us. Thank you, Jody. I just love it all." This one is one that we get over and over and over again. And the number of years will vary from 5 years to 40 years. But she says, "I've been quilting for 20 plus years. And since finding the Square in a Square, I have learned so much and am enjoying my quilting with completely new enthusiasm and square eyes. I love passing this on to my friends and family that also enjoy quilting." So square eyes is what we talk about, that when you learn the options. And we're going to do 3 Monday classes where we're going to go through all of the options. We're going to do, and there should have been a handout page. I don't know if you added it to this email or if it was in the past email about the option class, about what they need to have cut.
I don't think it's in this one.
Okay, yeah, because I
But we'll
didn't
have it
remind you
for
on
sure
this one.
On the next one.
Yeah, and we can do, for our Monday class, we'll send that out. You won't need it for Monday class. There's no handout for Monday class. Just show up and see what we're doing. If you like it, then you can get what you need to do that. So I always like to do the little, let you guys know what other people are thinking. Now also, if you order $150 of anything, you're going to get free shipping from now to the end of September. So wow, that's another great bargain for you, because shipping,
USA, sure.
and that's USA. If you're out of the country, then Steve will prorate that for you and help you. Now, we also have, if you want to put your camera down here, I love to have little fun things for you guys. So we have these neat little boxes. We've got these Hip to Be Square stickers. So if you order $300 or more, you're going to get a set. So that's the bigger box and the smaller box. You're going to get a sticker for each box that you can put on your box, or we're not going to attach it to the box. That way, if you want to take your sticker and put it on a notebook or do something else with it, you can. Now, you can also order the stickers individually if you want, if you're not getting the $300, but you want the sticker, or maybe you just want an extra sticker for whatever. Stickers are kind of cool to go on your notebooks, your water bottles, your whatever.
Okay, let's talk about the $300 special.
Okay.
I tried to get it to be automatic that it would do that.
On the computer
On the
website,
computer,
yeah.
But it looks like you're going to have to enter both boxes if you order $300 and then put both boxes in your shopping cart. It will take it off.
Okay, so if you've ordered the
But if you
$300
forget,
in
we'll add it
fabric,
there.
if you've ordered the $300 of fabric, there is a little box that you need to click that it'll go on the order form for the boxes, but we'll be watching.
You'll have to look up the boxes.
You have to go
Just
in
like
and,
you're gonna
and do it
order
like you're going to order it, but we will be watching. And if you didn't do it and you have a $300 order, we're going to be looking for that, because we know that that's an extra thing for people to think about. So this is the bigger box. The size is, the big one is 6 by 8.5. And so big scissors, I have big scissors here somewhere. Oh, they're over there on that cutting table. See, we're maybe behind you over there. So we'll do the little box first. So the little box, so these bigger spools of thread, you can see how you can get 6 across, and then you could get 2 on the top and 2 on the top. So you can get about 10 in there.
It's about 2 inches deep.
About 2 inches deep. And then on the bigger one, just so that you can see how you can get your big regular garment shears in there. So a nice size and all about 2 inches deep. So those are fun. We always like our little gadgets that make our sewing more fun. Now the other thing is that I have limited supply on our threads. So this is the Urafil thread. These are the bigger spools. So and it comes in this plastic box, and you're going to get 12 large spools. They're 50 weight. They're 100% cotton, almost 1,500 yards. And you can see how all of these colors go with all of our new Paradise fabrics.
I think they're listed under neon on the website.
Okay, so if you go to
Or just
neon,
under
then you can
threads,
see.
yeah.
Now in this other little box, and if you printed off your sheet, you've got your sheet on there, and I'm sorry, I don't know prices. These are not on sale. These are the new ones, and they're very picky about putting the threads on sale. So this one here has the cute little lions on them, and they have the smaller spools. And I think you have 24, you have 12 in a box. So if you're going to be doing applique or machine quilting, or even for your piecing, these are some great colors to have and use. And then they also have just the 3 large neons. So you can order the box with the 3, and they come with that cute little box. So you can order the box with the 3. You can order the plastic box here with the 12. So those come just like that. And there's limited supply on these. We had to order these last fall at Houston. So there is what there is, and that's it. Limited supply. And like I said, they're not at a discounted price because they don't let you do that. So really cute packaging, and the colors are great to go with our quilts. So don't delay on any of those if you're interested.
Can you go back over the sale on 3-yard thing?
Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so for the Paradise fabric, you can get 1-yard bundle. It's a 1 yard. There's 17 different fabrics, so you're going to get 17 yards, 1 yard of each, and there's a button that you can click just for that, and that's like 11 something a yard. So you're still, the fabric is $13.97 or something like that, almost 14. So that's still a good savings on the yardage for you. Then there's a button that you can click that is the 2 yards, and that's the 17 pieces, 2 yards of each, and you have a savings on it. And if you're spending $150, you get free shipping. If you're spending $300, you get the little boxes free. You have to go in and click on them like you're purchasing them. We will be watching. If you have an order for $300 and you didn't do it or forgot or whatever, we'll be watching for that so that we can get you, because we want to send them to you when we're sending your fabric. Fabric is all here. We're ready to ship. Then on the 3 yards and up, you have to purchase 3 yards. So it's like 3 yards of the pink, 3 yards of the green, and you can get it for the $10 a yard, which is saving you a penny, $4 basically. You're saving $4 a yard. So that on a 3 yard piece, you're saving $12. That's almost a yard of fabric, So, and then you can go in and order 3 yards of this and 5 yards of that and whatever on there that you want. Okay, does that make that?
And then the 1 and 2 yard bundles too.
Yes, the 1 button for the 1 yards, 1 button for the 2 yards. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. It's, if you've been with us before on our sales, that's how we always do it, 3 yards and up for the $10. If you're new, then yes, you're trying to get that figured out. But if you've been with us, the only thing that's different is you can now get a 1 yard bundle and a 2 yard bundle and get a discount. It's not $10 a yard, but you still get a discount. Okay, other questions? Nope. Okay, are we ready to look at quilts? Yay. That's what we want to do, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to look at the quilts, and I'm going to tell you where we're teaching and as much information as I can. But if I could forget something, so if you have a question, get it in there so that we can let you know. Okay, so this one here is called Black Tulip. We've used the black as our separation or our background. Notice how it's all about contrast, like I've been teaching all day today. And we will have a kit for this. We do not have a kit on the website at this moment, or the pattern available. They will be ready soon. We have 6 weeks that we're working up for Quilt Club Week. This one will be taught in Quilt Club Week. This is one that Sherry is teaching, and we will have a kit for it. Of course, the kits are not discounted, so once again, take advantage of the fabric on sale and get it. So if you're writing down what we've used on this one, I don't have quantities for you, but we've used the pink and the aqua diamond dot, and we've used the black and the orange diamond dot. We've used the purple flower and the pink flower, and of course the black is quite a bit. So a lot of the kits do have that black diamond dot, so of course that black diamond dot's just going to fly right out of here because it's in kits and it's going to be your background for everything. If you have the hen house book that we did in August last year, use your black as your background and then all of these colors as your little flying geese. Oh my gosh, it would be so exquisite, and any design is just going to be awesome. Like I said, you can go into like Pinterest or any location and look at black background quilts and see, and you're going to want that 10 or 20 yard piece of that black diamond dot. Please don't miss out on it. Okay, this one here is called Stellar Star. It's also one that Sherry is going to be teaching during Quilt Club Week. We do not have the kit for it yet. It's coming. We've used the pink and the aqua and the black diamond dot, and then the purple flower. Also, think about your backings. Backings are anywhere from 5 yards to 8 yards for your backing. It's not the 108, it's just the regular 44, 45-inch width of fabric. But think about backings for your quilts. You know, a smaller lap quilt, maybe a 4 yard, but most of the quilts you're going to need a 5 to an 8. 8 is a queen. If you're doing a king, then you're going to need that 10 yard piece I keep telling you about. Okay, so both of these are going to be taught by Sherry. Both of them will have kits. They're coming, and patterns. They're coming. And this is 2 of the classes for Quilt Club Week. So Sherry has classes and lectures. Kay has classes and lectures. Kathy has classes and lectures. And then, of course, I have classes and lectures. So all of those will be a part of Quilt Club Week. All right, so this is kind of like, let's make a deal. Let's see what's underneath. Any questions on these 2 quilts? Black Tulip, Stellar Star, both taught by Sherry, both in Quilt Club Week, and kits and patterns are coming. They're not in the website yet. So as I fold these up and get the next ones ready, just go ahead and enjoy looking at those that are up there. Okay, so this one is Lady of the Lake. This is one that I will be teaching during Quilt Club Week. It uses the red fuzzy leaf, the red vine, and the dirt stick background. We will be doing the firefly for this one. The firefly is when you have multiple triangle units coming together. So we'll be teaching and learning the firefly. And this one is the Lady of the Lake block. It's I think it's a 5-inch, so it's pretty small. But we've used the 2 different reds. You could also do it, I just think some of this orange and black, or some of this red and gray, or even a red and black, any of those. I want to make another one in it. And then we've put it together so that it makes this little windmill design from the Lady of the Lake. So there is an individual pattern that is on the website ready to go. There are also kits just like this in these 3 colors that you can get. I think there was a kit page maybe in the downloads that tells you about fabric, how much fabric, if you were wanting to switch up fabrics and purchase fabrics and see how much you would need for that one. So check those out. I don't have those papers here with me to tell you, but just a beautiful, beautiful quilt. Probably will do a little bit, maybe do black on the back, maybe the black stick or the black diamond dot, and then probably use a black binding on here. So this one, kit is on the website. It's called Lady of the Lake, the windmill version. The pattern is on the website if you just want the pattern and use your own stash. I think this one is going to be just, think about this one if you use the black or the gray for your background and then go in and use a purple and a green for your windmills. I mean, or those blacks and oranges, any of those are just, I just can't wait. Sometimes I get a quilt that I just kind of just get mesmerized with, and I want to make this quilt in so many different colors just to see what it's going to look like, and this is one of them. I just want to keep going with it and look at these different color variations. And this is a sample that Sherry made for me, and her work is always just exquisite, and her pressing. So taking the time to fold these up nice because they are pressed so beautiful. Now this one is the As the Crow Flies, and it is our new little book we just got, so it is on the website. Where is my new little book? There it is. So it's this new little book, As the Crow Fly. It's normally $19.95. You can get it for $16.95 to the end of September. That's one of these that goes along with our sale. Am I backing out of the, there we go. Which direction do I go? Okay, so this is your little book for As the Crow Flies. Now we do have kits for it just like this on the website where you can purchase it or you can get just the book. But I want you to think about, if you're not into the orange or you don't want it just all fallish, think about those blacks and grays that I showed, maybe even a little bit of red, and come in here and do this with those blacks and grays and reds and the little crow. This is one of them that I want to make another one of and use those other colors. It's just going to be awesome. Now also don't forget about our option 44, the Firefly book. We're going to be teaching Firefly with the Lady of the Lake during Quilt Club Week. The hen house, we did some hen houses last year. Look at Quilt Club Week from last year and you'll see some of the hen houses. I want to do in this new Paradise fabric, I want to go in here and make these quilts that are in the hen house with some of this Paradise. I just think those would be so, so pretty. And then also our option 41, which is the snowball block. Don't forget about that little book. So those are some of our new books that have been out the last 12 months or so. Okay, questions?
Maybe.
Because I hate to take a quilt down if someone has a question. Kathleen.
Can you make those live links? I don't know what that means, a live link. I thought they were a live link.
He's going to look at that, and because he thought they were a live link, so he's going to look at that. Okay, so now we're getting down to where you can see the quilts in the two different color combos from some of the vintage or the past fabrics and then the new one. Now we have a lot of teaching building up to Quilt Club Week and building up to our premium club. So we have a lot going on and that's why we have that piece of paper with our schedule on it so that you won't miss anything. So this is the Disappearing Star. It is in the...
Before you go on,
okay.
how big is the crow flies? Is it on the book?
Yeah, it would be. It would be on the website for the kit. 57 by 66. Okay, so it's a nice size. You can always, you know, if you didn't want one that big, just, you know, this one would be cool to, you could get the kit, make it, and then make it into two quilts so they'd be half the size. And then if you're wanting just like a little table topper or just a little fall thing, you don't have to make the big quilt.
Are the crows pieced?
The crows are pieced, and we've gone to a lot of pictures in here to do the crows to make it really easy for you. It looks like a lot of pieces, but the way that we strip piece and advance do things, if you're new to me, then you don't understand that because we strip piece and really think about that human element and removing it as much as we can. If you've been with me a while, you understand some of that strip piecing of what we do.
The orange and green fabrics, are they in the crow flies?
Well, let's just look at the crow fly has the gold stick, the orange bow tie, the dirt floral, and any of the blacks. This is actually the black flag, but any of the blacks. Okay, does that help? Okay, another question?
I think that's it for now.
Okay, all right. So here you can see disappearing star. If you look at the black points here, this one probably jumps out better where you can see the star. But if you blink, then it kind of goes away, it disappears. That's why we call it disappearing star. Now this is one of the classes that we're going to be teaching either the pre-Quilt Club week or on the next 2 Mondays. The next 2 Mondays I think are just individual quilts. I'm not positive which one I'm doing when, but this is going to be one of the classes in the next 6 weeks on a Monday that we're leading up. Or it could be the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday before Quilt Club week. You're just going to have to watch and find out. So this is an option 2. So we start out with our square in the middle, sew around it one time, trim it up, sew around it again, trim it up, and then just have a nice focus fabric on the others. So once again, I want you to notice it's contrast. So we've got the aqua dot, the black dot. The aqua dot sounds like an aqueduct. Aqua dot, black dot, the purple paradise. Now the only thing about this one is that when I used my big squares, I did make sure that my birds were vertical heads up. I didn't necessarily worry about them inside my block, but I think I did pretty good with all of the birds staying vertical, but I for sure watched in my big squares to make sure. This is a very fast, very easy quilt. It's a nice size. You can cover a lot of territory quickly. But also, if you just wanted to do, I do think that at the top and at the bottom, you need to start with the 3. I don't like the corners to be, you know, this in the corner. I want the piece block to be in the corner. But if they're 5 across, and I think it's 7 that we have going down. But if you wanted to shorten it and just do like 5 by 5, that is a great size, especially for a baby quilt. So a baby quilt needs to be, I always laughed and said there was 3, let me see if I can remember this. There's 3 things that you need for a baby quilt. You need a baby, and you need a fast quilt, and you need some pretty fabric. So a baby, a fast quilt, and pretty fabric is what you need for a baby quilt. Think about doing this in the pinks or the purples, the greens, just would really be a wonderful baby quilt. And just do it 5 by 5. It would be a great size, and they'll love it. Now this one is the same quilt. It may not look like the same. Sometimes colors vary, make it look different. But we've used the vintage fabric. We did the black vine as our big print, the red stick, one of our backgrounds. So just 3 fabrics. So you could go in here with just 3 fabrics, yeah, and make that one up. So both of these are kits that are on the website. They're ready to roll. So if you want, you know, just the fabric you need for those. And then the pattern is in your reference book, the black book, the main book, okay? Any questions, Mr. Steve, or comments? How many do we have on here that are brand new to us? If you're brand new to watching any of our stuff, never done one of our sales or classes before, let us know. Now this next one is called Postage Stamp Star, and both of these quilts are exactly the same. This one is made from our vintage fabrics, my line that came out last winter, and this one is from the new Paradise fabrics. We've used the pink bird the gray diamond dot for the background, and then the aqua. And I just love, love, love how when you start learning these diamonds, you start getting these circles like you see. And this is the very first class on Thursday during Quilt Club week that I'm teaching. And you're going to get detailed instruction on how to cut the diamond, how to sew the diamond, lots of different tips and hints. It is a beginner class for anyone wanting to learn the diamonds of the square in a square system. And I just think both quilts are just so unique and so different and so pretty all on their own.
The black diamond dot, is it the same kettle black as your other fabric?
Yes, the black diamond dot is the same kettle black, which is an antique black. Sometimes people say it looks like a navy blue, but I've worked with it for so long, it's just black for me. Okay, so these are two that will be taught during Quilt Club week. The pattern is in your diamond book, and your class will be in Quilt Club week. It'll be my first day Thursday class. Those are already filmed and loaded up into the online area and ready to go. And here you can see this little black bow tie like I showed with all the orange fabrics. Just really, really pretty.
At the top of the website, you can sign up for Quilt Club week or Premium Club.
Okay. If you go to the website squareandasquare.com, you can go right to the top and there's a banner up there, and you can sign up for Quilt Club week or you can sign up for Premium Club. Now, Quilt Club week is, we do pre-Quilt Club week Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but then on Wednesday, we call Wednesday our early bird, and we do a little bit, and that's just for our private Quilt Club week people. The Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is kind of open to everybody to watch, and then of course we want them to come join. And then on Thursday morning, Friday morning, Saturday morning, all of the classes open all at once. You go in and watch any of them that you want to watch as many times as you want. If you like it, then you can go in and order the stuff. This is really the first time that we've ever showed the quilts before Quilt Club week, where you could get the stuff ahead of time. You usually do Quilt Club week and then order the stuff that you want, but this time we have stuff available before. Now, Quilt Club week is the last week of September, and the sale ends the end of September. So once Quilt Club week starts, you have a very limited time to get in on those sale items, but we do want you to go ahead and be able to do that, and so we made it to go to the end of September. Now, Premium Club is, oh, okay, and with Quilt Club week, you get it, it's a subscription, so you get it for a limited time. I don't know what that is at the moment. You get the past ones from 2020, 2021, 22, and then the new one, 23. So if you sign up now for Quilt Club week, you can go in and start watching the past ones right now while you're waiting for Quilt Club week. And then also we have each week for the next 6 weeks, we've got specialty classes going on that are open to everybody. Now, Premium Club is a subscription that goes all year, and Quilt Club week is a part of it. It's part of our celebration. But Premium Club is a fall semester and a spring semester. So the fall semester starts, I think, that first week after Labor Day, I think is our first class for Premium Club. It's on your schedule. And it will go to holiday time, depending on how many Mondays we need for the project that we're working on. And there's always a theme, and it is about the beauty of the quilt and the color of the quilt, but the quilt is always about the teaching. It's about what I want you to learn in the process of making this quilt. So the quilts are all structured around the teaching, the different things that I want you to learn and master. And then sometimes there's a new option in there, and I will show you that here in a minute for when we get to the Premium Club. And so it's for all year. You have your fall semester, your spring semester, and of course you can watch them live. Occasionally you have a pre-recorded one, and then you can go back in and watch them over and over again. And that's what I love about the online teaching that we do, is that if I go to your guild, or if you see me at Paducah or whatever, you go in and take that 3-hour class or that 6-hour class, and when it's over and gone, then it's over. You know, you can't go back and watch that video again. And so I really feel like with the online teaching, where we can get the camera up really close and do, you know, with all the editing and stuff. I really think it's the best value and the best teaching for you. Okay, so this next one here, okay, this next one is called Soldier's Comfort, and here's the other one. So I've got these a little bit out of order here. This is Soldier's Comfort. You can see it in the purple with the lime green and the black, in the vintage, in the Paradise, and then here you can see it in the vintage. There are kits and patterns on the website ready to go, and this will be one of our pre-classes that we do, or a free class that we do on those Mondays or during the pre-Quilt Club week on that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, okay? And this is called Soldier's Comfort. So this is great for a beginner. It's great to get used to strip piecing. It's great when you have a big focus print that you want a big square on. And those are the Soldier's Comforts. Okay. This one, what did I do with my... Is. So you can see it in the just kind of scrappy vintage here. This is really a fun one to do. And I've got another little trick I'm going to show you on that one. And then here it is in the purple and the black. So same quilt. We've got different sizes of blocks. And we're going to talk about how easy it is to change. This is great for the 10-inch layer cakes, and it's great for the 5-inch charms. Both of these are good for those. So people are always like, what do I do with a jelly roll or a charm? So jelly rolls and layer cakes and charms will work for any of those. And that is that. Okay, now I've got a couple of others to show, and then we'll be done. Get your questions in if you have any questions. Now, sometimes people want to see, let's put this one, if you can get the camera down here, Steve. This one is Turkey Tracks, and it is in the reference book, the main one, and I want you to see just 2 colors. So any of the new Paradise, 2 colors. If you want to work with the yellow and the green, or this one and the purple, or the aqua, or even go with the green. Now, the orange. If you keep showing, this one is Turkey Tracks, and I think we taught it in one of the quilt clubs, and this is in the reference book, the black book, and see, it's just 2 colors. So you can use the black or the gray or any of these for your backgrounds, and then just pick one of your other ones for your color.
Okay, and again, what's the ones behind you that are hanging?
Yeah, these 2 behind me are called Pineapple Spool. The pattern is coming and the kits are coming, but those are not on the website yet. But it will be one of the pre-classes that we do either that week of Quilt Club week or those Monday classes that I have that are freebies. So those 2 are coming. Yeah, I'll let them look at this one just a moment longer, because this is a great one here. If you're shy to our fabrics, if you're not sure about your colors, this is good. Just 2 colors, do a contrast. Any of those combos that I've shown today, pick 2 of them out. Now, if you're a Premium Club member, there is a, in the Facebook page, there's a, Jenny posted a quilt today that uses a background, an orange, and a yellow. And I thought when I saw it, I was like, oh my, that would be so pretty, made out of the yellow and the orange from the new Paradise collection. So if you're wanting an idea of one to do, on the Facebook Premium page, Jenny posted one of kind of like a little feathered star, just really, really pretty. Now this one is Gold Rush, and it is a kit that's on the website. It's ready to go. It is also, Gold Rush is in the Melee Women Pattern Book. This one is out of the Vintage Fabrics, and that kit is ready to go. I will be teaching this during Quilt Club Week, the Gold Rush, and I'm going to be using the Paradise fabric. And it's just such a pretty quilt. Now, we'll be showing you how to do the applique and how to do it very easy. If you've never done applique, I have a very easy method to do, and you can see how I'm still working on this one. But this one is Gold Rush, and the kit is on the website. It uses the reds and the blacks and the greens from the vintage collection that came out last winter. I usually do one fabric a year, and my vintage came out last winter, and my Paradise is this summer. So two big collections, both had, I think, 17. This one has 17 pieces, and the other one I think had 20. I don't normally do those that big, and probably it's not my plan to do those that big, but that's the way those happened. So this one is Gold Rush. It will be taught during Quilt Club Week. The pattern is in the Melee Women book. The kit is on the website, and I'll be, for my sample that I'm teaching with during Quilt Club Week, I will be using the Paradise fabric. Now this one was made by one of our Premium Club members, and she's been a friend of mine for, 30 years, although we're not that old. And this is her grid quilt that she made from our spring semester. And she used blacks and reds and teals, and just from her stash and her collection, but she did a great job of putting all the colors together. And I just wanted you to see it. Now this one was our spring semester class, and we called it the grid quilt because we took it in sections, and it was all broke down into little squares, and we talked about how you can put anything in that little square. We talked about the square and a square system, how to do the adapting, how to use the charts, how to switch it up. And then we had no kits. I used some of the vintage fabrics for my samples, but people just went from their stash. And I just think it is so pretty, and looking at it in the monitor to where I can kind of get an overall of it. And of course I saw it in person last, I guess it was April when we were all together. And I was like, oh, Diana, I need to borrow your quilt and show it because it's such a beautiful quilt. And just really nice with the lights and darks, the contrast, the mediums. And a great way to use up your scraps. Okay, so I've got some little ones I want to put down here. Now that blue turkey track quilt that I had down here just a little while ago, that one was quilted on just a regular domestic tabletop sewing machine by Kathy. And Kathy is our domestic machine quilting teacher that teaches during Quilt Club Week. So if you want to learn how to use your regular sewing machine and quilt your quilts, we have those in the past Quilt Club Weeks, and then we also we'll have a new one, have new classes that she'll be teaching this one. Okay, so this one is called Midnight in the Pumpkin Patch. It comes from the reference book. We've used the diamond dots in the orange slice, the lime, and the kettle black, the black. And there's some little appliques on here that you can do that are pumpkins that make it fall. This is just the option 7 with a plain square. We've got a great lecture in Quilt Club Week where we talk about this quilt and the diamonds and other diamond quilts. I don't want to give it all away, but I think you're really going to love the Storm at Sea lecture that we have. Now you may be thinking, what do we do with that yellow? Well, here is a beautiful storm at sea. This is a sample that Sherry made for us, and Sherry made our little black one down here on the table. But this is the storm at sea design. We've got the aqua diamond dot, the yellow diamond dot, the yellow flowers, and the orange bird in there. And this one is in your reference book towards the back of the book, and it's the one that we call the large storm at sea, because in there's two different storm at sea patterns. There's a miniature one for a storm at sea with little pieces, and then there's this bigger block. See, this has to do with the block being bigger. So here's your diamond, vertical, your option 2, and then an option 1, and so on. And so this lecture that Sherry and I did for Quilt Club Week, I really think is just going to open your eyes and just really, really, I just think you're going to love it. And the teaching that's in it and the quilts that we show, I just think you're really, really going to enjoy that one of the lectures. So when you go to like a quilt show, you know, you go in person, you go through, you see the vendors, you see little demos they're doing. You may take a hands-on class, you may take a lecture, you may, you know, and so that's how Quilt Club Week is structured. It's got big quilt projects, it's got lectures, it's got little quilt projects, it's got machine quilting, it's got a couple of little crafty things in there, and it's just a great time. It's just, anybody that's gone to Quilt Club Week has just been so excited. Now this one is a pattern I've had for a long time. It's the double star pattern, and you can get that pattern individually. This one is, I think we have the kit ready to go, don't we? We have yeah. So this one should be on the website, double star, and the kit should be on. Now on this one, we've mixed some of the vintage and the New Paradise. So let's look at it right here real close first, and then we'll put it up on the wall so you can get the overall on it. So this is the orange vine from the vintage, the purple diamond dot, the purple flower, the black dot, and then of course the orange vine again. And so the star, which is the flying geese, and then just the big option 1. And this is double star. Just really very fallish and fun. I like having some fall quilts to decorate with. I like them being just fall, not Halloween. I don't want them spooky or mean or witchy. I just like a pretty fall quilt. And this one with our new purples put in with it, it's just really, really fun and really pretty. And this one is called Double Star. And this one is also one that we'll be teaching. Like I said, I don't know which day we'll be doing those. This one may be during Quilt Club Week. It may not be one of the free ones. It may be my Wednesday night early bird one that I teach live. But in fact, I think that's where I have it at, is on that schedule. Okay, any questions? We're getting to the end here, so get your question in. Anything that you want to see again?
So does Quilt Club Week go from 8 to 5 daily? And if not, what time are the instructions and the lectures?
Okay, so each day, so like Wednesday, we start up at evening. We'll have like an opening. I usually do a lecture that night. I may have a demo that night. So just like if you go to a quilt show, they do an early bird at night, because usually the vendors have set up all day on Wednesday and they open that night. And then the next day the show opens like 8 or 9 o'clock or whatever, and you can see stuff for that day. And so on Thursday, all of the classes will open at the same time. So we may have some people that go in and watch a lecture. We may have some people that go in and watch a class. We may have, you know, so any of the classes that are on Thursday, they're all open at the same time. You go in and watch them as many times as you want. Then the next day we have a new set of classes, but you can also go in and watch Thursdays or Wednesday nights. And then on Friday we have a new set of classes. So this would be U.S. Standard Time. I think in the past we've opened at 9. Usually I come on with a live, tell you about the classes that day, remind you of anything, and remind you of my other lives during the day, because we have all of the pre-recorded stuff, but we also will have lives during those days that I do. And then Saturday, you'll have those classes for Saturday's classes, and you can go back in and watch Friday or Thursday or Wednesday, anything that we've done before. So see, that's another cool thing about Quilt Club Week is that, you know, if someone was doing something special on a Thursday, you know, at a real quilt show, and you didn't go on Thursday, you went on Saturday, then you would have missed it. But with this, you can go in and watch all of them and watch them over and over again, okay? All right, so this is, I hope that answered your question. If not, ask again, and we'll see if we can make it more clear. More questions, Mr. Steve?
Okay, on the crow flies, what
Okay.
would you suggest other than a crow for that block?
Other than a crow, well, first of all, well, it may be that you just don't want a black crow. Some people don't want a black crow. You could put more stars in it. The little quilt had stars and crows and 4 patches. So the solid squares and the 4 patches you need to keep consistent. There's a pattern to them, but the stars and the crows are just kind of randomly put in there. So I would just suggest doing a few more stars to go in there.
Okay, back to the time slots. Do you pick classes to watch, or how does that work on Quilt Club Week?
On Quilt Club Week, whatever we have loaded for that Thursday, they're all there for you. You go in at any time and watch any of the classes.
That way you don't miss
So
anything.
think about Netflix. If you have like a Netflix subscription, you can go in and look at dramas. So let's say that's Thursday. So you can look at the dramas and choose any of those dramas that you want to watch, and you can watch them in any order that you want to watch. So for our Thursday classes, you can go in and pick whichever one you want to watch. You can watch them in any order. You can watch them as often. You can back them up. You can start them over. Just all of that.
They're closed captioned,
Yeah, they're closed caption.
except the live stuff. We haven't got that yet.
Yeah, when you do a live, you can't do the closed caption at the moment that the live is. You can go back in and add it later, but they don't have a program
Some of
available.
YouTube is doing it live, but
Yeah, that's some new technology that's coming, but that's not something that we have yet.
oh, it's available. It's just a little expensive right now.
Yeah. We need a bunch more members to be able to do that. Okay, but Steve is our tech guy. He's our guru. He's very up on all of it and has all of it for us just as soon as we can. Okay, another.
I think that's it on questions.
Okay, so for our fall, for our Premium Club members or our people who are thinking about joining for our fall Premium Club, we will start in September. And the kind of the theme of our quilt is I'm going to be using the Paradise fabric, and it's going to be about, I'm going to say 4 patches or squares, groups of squares, like 4 patches. And also in Quilt Club Week, I didn't realize it, I didn't really plan it this way, but we kind of have a theme going of 4 patches in our Quilt Club Week. And we have a 4-patch tool. So if you're just doing one order and you're wanting to get that free $150 shipping, if you don't have a 4-patch ruler, order the 4-patch ruler, because we're using it in Quilt Club Week. We're going to show you how to use it, and once you learn that, you won't want to make a 4-patch any other way. A lot of people think, oh, it's just a 4-patch. Oh, it's just a square. I don't need help with that. I'm going to show you why you do and why you want it and how to use it. And so I don't want you to have to just order the ruler and pay shipping on it. Put the 4-patch ruler in with your order so that you can get free shipping on that $150, because we're going to be using it in so many of our Quilt Club Week quilts, and we're also using it in our Premium Club this fall. Okay, so the theme for this fall, I'm using the Paradise fabric. You can use whatever you want. I won't have a specific kit, but I'm recommending you to get the 1-yard bundle or the 2-yard bundle that's on sale and add your diamond dot background for whatever color you want. It won't matter what you choose, whichever one is going to work, whatever's your favorite. And then it's we have a new option version. So option 6 is like when you start mixing stuff together. So we're going to do that. So you're going to learn more about option 6. You're going to learn more about the 4 patches, lots of little squares, and then of course we have triangles, some triangles. So first of all, let's look down here at the table. I want you to look at this color combo. So on this one we have the purple flower dot, we have the green diamond dot, and we have the orange cobblestone. So once again, I want you to look at how beautiful it is and look at contrast. It's all about contrast, okay? So this green really separates these 2 focus prints, and it gives you a contrast. You maybe, when you look at the fabrics, don't think about putting those 3 together, but it works. It's beautiful. It's kind of hard to go wrong. Okay, now this is part of our quilt. I'm going to show you a couple of different color waves, but this is part of our quilt this fall. I don't want to give it all away. I like it being a surprise. I don't want students working ahead of time. I want them to watch the video and then do the work. So this is part of our colors and part of our center. The center of the quilt is kind of it's a 20-inch block. It's kind of a medallion in the center, and then it's going to have all these beautiful stars that kind of come off in all directions. So these squares will run through the quilt. The quilt will be, I don't have the exact measurements. I'm going to guess and say 80 by 80, but it's a bigger quilt. And if you look at this shape right here on the end, this shape right here, this is a new option, or it's a version of an option. So we're going to be using a lot of those through the quilt. So it's like a flying goose with this extra shape going on in the middle, which this right here is an option 8. So it's about how we take the option 8 and turn it into this flying goose with the square in the middle. Now I want you to notice there's just a contrast on these. There's not like a light and a dark. It's just good contrast to help create the design. So here you can kind of see the purple star taking shape. You can see how you can see how all of this is just a good contrast. Everything has a good contrast. Whoops, don't look at that one yet. Oh. That's okay. All right, and then you can kind of see how we have a 4 patch here, and see how these all kind of circle. Those are kind of all circle around. And then we're going to have some triangles. And look how that makes a little bud shape there on the corner. So once again, don't be afraid to put any of the colors together and just think about contrast. Keyword, contrast for the new fabric. Okay, now this one is the same. We've focused in on the orange and black, and because of the contrast and because of the black, it looks, and we don't have the corners in here yet. I'll put this one up here. But too, you know how you, so there you can kind of see that little tulip shape there. So think about, you know, if you put your purple here, those are going to touch. That's going to create something. If you flip it, you know, then these touch and you kind of lose your star points, you know, or if you go diagonal, you know, does this make a circle going around? So there's going to be a lot of different ways that the individual students can play with it to make the quilts their own. And I'll show a couple of different color waves as we go through. So in this one, with it all sewn together, you can see how this runs and will continue to create a design throughout the whole quilt when we get done. You can see how these triangles go out and create a running triangle throughout the quilt, and then you've also got these going at the diagonal. And do you put your quilt, your block straight in the middle, or when you're making your quilt, do you put it on point? Because that changes the lineup of things too. So I think that's everything. If you have any questions, I'll talk for a minute, get your questions in, and then we will, on Monday, we will have a class. Monday, the following week in August, we'll have a class. We'll have classes on Mondays, except for that Labor Day Monday. We'll do it on a Tuesday. Premium Club will start that first Monday after Labor Day, I think. And if you don't have that schedule, look in your emails. Steve will send it out again. And then Quilt Club week, the last week of September. The sale goes to the end of September, so you have about 5.5 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that, to get in on the sale.
Does your new one, I believe that you just showed, does it have a name?
The quilt? I haven't named the quilt yet. I usually name each block as we're teaching it each week, and this one is Crossroads. So since the quilt is kind of a crossroads, and the first block is at it, we may just call it Crossroads. I don't know. More questions?
I see bundles on the website, but I don't see how to order individual fabric selections from the new fabrics. I'm not sure what that means.
Well, do they just go into like the diamond dots and pick the one they want?
Pick
and
the color and then go
pick the color, and then another little
quantity.
window pops up and you pick your quantity.
It's all together, yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
said
all
it's the
together.
same. Now, some of the bundles that you showed together, they just have to screenshot and go.
Right. Like when I showed like the different blacks and grays and red, we don't have a bundle for that. You just have to go in and pick the fabric and pick the quantity that you want.
Because you may want 3 yards or
Yeah.
2 yards or 1. We just showed colors.
Yeah, I
together.
just showed groupings so that you could see how your past collections blend in with this one, and to help give you guys ideas. That's ideas of how to use your fabric when the new fabric comes out. I always enjoy doing that way. You're like, oh, I didn't think about putting that one and that one together, and that looks great. I like that. Just as we love to help. So we have the quilt text line, which is 817-713-2879. So if you have a quilt question, you want to show me a quilt, you know, I like to do it on there because I can immediately make a little video and send it to you. I can use the reference book and say, here on page 39, this chart is what you're looking for, and this is how you're going to do it, and so on. So I can teach really quick on there, make a video for you. It's so much easier and faster than going through email. Now, there was a girl that I was working with on there. I have to be a quilt detective because sometimes people don't always know the words or the vocabulary to get to me so that I can help you. And if you have a picture of what you want, if you can snap a picture and put it on that text thread, it's going to save a lot of going back and forth. You know, people say, I need a block. Well, to me, this is a block, lots of pieces sewn together. You know, and sometimes they just want an option one. You know, they'll say, I want a block that's 9 inches. Well, what do you want to go on in that block that's 9 inches, you know? So try to use, I want an option one that is 5 inches. And then we also have to think about cut sizes and sewn sizes. So sometimes we go back and forth on that. So I don't want you to get frustrated because I keep asking you questions, because I can't give you an answer until I have some of those questions. It reminds me of Steve being a pharmacist. You know, you go in and you say, I have a runny nose, what do I need to take? Well, he's got to ask you some questions before he can refer to you what you need for your runny nose. Are you taking any other medications that this could interact with? You know, all of this. So try to send me a picture and give me as much information as you can. Sometimes people are just wanting a size, but they tell me, oh, I have a pink this and a this. You know, if I'm helping you with size, it doesn't necessarily matter about color. Sometimes it does if the options are coming together. You know, there's no reason to make a triangle here and a triangle here that's red and they come together. You know, it could be that when they come together, that piece of them coming together and the colors being the same, you know, it would be a different option and make it easier. But
On the fall class.
On the fall class.
In Premium Club.
In Premium Club.
Do you know what size the quilt's going to be?
No, I don't. I pedal really hard to stay ahead of you guys. So, you know, you've got to pick your colors, you've got to write it up, you've got to sew it up, you've got to make lots of samples, all of that. And we have been working on all of this for Quilt Club Week. So if you wanted to see the whole quilt, it's here, you know. So it also, as I'm going with it, I like for the quilt to talk to me. I may have in my mind thought we were going to do this, but then after I start getting it together, I see something else and I'm like, oh, I want to rabbit trail down that direction. So I know sometimes that's hard and frustrating for you guys that you don't have a kit or you don't have a picture of the overall quilt or whatever, but I need about 3 of me to get that far ahead. So also I like for it to be a surprise. I like each Monday for you to be excited, you know, like, oh, what is she going to show us today? If I have the whole quilt up here for you to see, you may say, oh, I don't like that quilt or I don't like that color, and then you don't make it, you know. And you need to make the blogs to learn what we're teaching, even if you don't do all of the quilt. I don't know if that makes sense, but you need to make each block each week and learn and focus on. And sometimes people are like, you know, when you go to a quilt show or a quilt shop, the first thing you see is a quilt and the color of it. If it's a color you like, you go and investigate and look at it more. If it's a color you don't like, you don't even go look at it. So you don't even know what the pattern is. You don't know what you're going to learn when you make it. All you're doing is looking at the color. And that's, I'm going to say, the superficial part of it, when we need to go a little bit deeper with it. Lots of times people are like, oh, I saw this quilt, I want to make it, you know, all of that. And for me and Premium Club, it's all about what you're learning. And so part of that is just getting in the boat and going along with me and not actually sometimes knowing where you're going. Just relax and come along for the ride and have fun. I hope that helps. So any other last minute questions? Nope. Okay. Well, we have gone almost 2 hours. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope you've gotten a lot of hours. I hope you've gotten a lot of education about how to put all of this together and watch and rewatch the screenshot. Take advantage of all the different things that we have to offer, whether it's the teaching or the sale or whatever. And we'll start shipping on Monday. If you've ordered a 1 yard or 2 yard bundle, it may take a little bit longer, a couple of days for us to get that to you. Other stuff is ready to go. We just pull it off the shelf, pack it all nice and neat for you in the box and get it on out. The 3 yards and up are ready to roll. 1s and 2s we have to cut. Takes us a little bit longer by hand. Okay, anything else? I hope you enjoyed it. Come along for our fun. We've got a lot of free stuff in the next 6 weeks, and then we'll jump in with our Premium Club and Quilt Club Week. You're going to have fun. You're going to make new friends. You're going to improve on your skill level, and you're going to look at quilts totally different than you've ever looked at them before. And you can become the piecer that you've always wanted to be by learning all the different things that we have to tell you with the square and a square, overcutting, science of patchwork, and so on.